Yay! Alright!
Okay, we are ready to start.
Puoi lasciare le chiavi a Totto. Felpa nera, alza la mano Totto. Grazie, scusate. Ok, alright!
17 event of Speck&Tech, last of this 2017. Everyone very sad. Please, cry.
That's very sincere everything tonight. Yeah.
Okay, we will go very straight because we have a number of things. We are running late. Everyone is like under Christmas trees, giving out gifts. We have beautiful T-shirts of Speck&Tech. If you don't know what to give to your grandmother, to your grandfather, please go there. They're amazing.
Yeah.
I bought personally 5 of them, so yeah. Please go.
Yeah. I'm going 11.
Okay, we have 2 speakers tonight. We have these 2 guys sitting down here.
Filippo, can you...
Applause, thank
Can
you.
you, Filippo, please?
And the second one.
Which we actually don't remember the first name, at least me. Is Francesco. Fabio. Francesco. It's always like...
That was my name, but we didn't want to repeat anyway. So first
Fabio,
of all,
thank you.
Fabio. So before starting, our sponsors, as always, we have some news this time. We have, as always, the Impact Hub, who's this space here.
Yeah, which is not the news. Impact Hub is the main co-working of Trento. Actually, if you go on Sarah's website, it looks like it's the only co-working space in Trento. So if you need a co-working space, or you know what a co-working space is and you need one, this is the place. You can come here and say, hey, I'm from Speck&Tech, and you will be treated like everyone else. Right.
Good one. Second one, we have Digital My Organization and Berka, Julia's company, that are always supporting with time, tears, and blood these events.
Morning.
And then we have like a number of sponsors this time. We have GitHub, we have Cloudflare, and we have Diginate, who are providing us with beautiful, beautiful stickers. Check them out if you're there at the desk, at the entrance. And then we have Factoring Cloud, who's actually supporting us, giving us this tool to give you invoices every time you donate 1 single cent. So if you want to donate 1 single cent, you will receive a beautiful email saying, thank you for your donation, we have you in your heart.
And don't be cheap, yes.
And yeah, we want to stress the fact of having Diginate as our patron, because they're giving us beautiful stickers. You can find all the 3 editions at the desk at the entrance. This was the first one, then we had the second one, even more tech. And then today we are launching the 3rd edition, check it out. It's actually a stamp, proven factor that you're actually a speaker. You can have it on your laptop, on your t-shirt, on your grandmother as you prefer.
And all your friends, yes.
And then we have Segata. How many of you know Segata? Oh. Okay.
We failed.
How many of you don't know Segata? Holy crap, look at that.
So
Actually,
no, let's try. What is Segata for you?
Segata.
No.
In your heart.
Oh.
No, Segata is our
Very
main
weird.
provider of Speck.
Don't do it, please. It's very weird.
Segata is our main provider of Speck, and cold cuts, meat, cheese, anything you can imagine. They're based in Sopramonte, but they also have a hub in Gardolo. If you want to look for Speck, or if you're organizing a barbecue and you look for burgers or anything else, just check them out. And they're providing us these beautiful things that will go into our belly in a couple of hours.
Yeah, moreover, if you want to organize a tech event, they are very handy.
Yeah. Plus, we have these guys tonight for the first time. It's a one-time, then we'll see if they like it and they want to support us even more. How many of you know Birri Fizzorettia?
Willo, puoi fare anche una foto, grazie, così poi gli diciamo che...
How many of you don't know Birri Fizzorettia?
Alright, we won this time, not like Segata. Segata is sponsoring us, but we already know it.
Yeah, Birri Fizzorettia, they're based in Vezzano. They're awesome, they started a couple of years ago. Now they have 6 different kind of beers, one with chocolate, one with Belgian Pale Ale, an IPA, blonde, check them out, they're really stunning. If you go to, for example, Uva Menta, they have a number of them and they're super tasty. And we have some of them here as well tonight. None of you will be able to taste them because they're just 60 beers, and I see that you're more than 60, so yeah, somebody will do without. But anyway, there are these 3 guys based in Vezzano. They make their own beers, and they also sell in Japan, so they're very cool. Thanks a lot for providing us with these very tasty beers. Yes, as always, you can go on our website at Speck&Tech. You can find all the issues with every event that we ran so far. We already have done 20 events, because 2 of them is not listed as a number. And you can find the speakers, you can find the contacts, the LinkedIn of the person speaking, the slides, and everything you want to look for. And of course, like us on Facebook if you haven't done it. We try not to spam, but we also tell you the events.
We actually do a lot,
yeah.
But it's Facebook, come on, like.
Yeah, okay. And but you find you tell you also about the hackathons or tech events or conferences, workshops and stuff happening around in the Tri Veneto, so check them out. What's also cool that we have a Slack team. So if you're not on Slack, you can join it. We're trying to make it a vibrant space.
So wait. How many of you doesn't know Slack?
Okay, great.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just very pessimistic, sorry.
Right. No, yeah, you can join it on Slack at this URL. Also, you can also go on our website on the top right corner. You can join the Slack team over there. We're trying to tell about events, stuff happening, people having issues with coding, people don't know in like a library or anything
Yeah, interesting
else.
shit. Like basically, you can use it to chat with people that during not the event. Like that's the idea. So feel free to spam it. Like if you find interesting stuff, you just want to discuss, you want to change your MAC address, like Francesco tried to do last week, or this kind of stuff. Like feel free to use it. It's not like just for institutional communication.
Yeah, it's true. Like you want to make a community, a space that is there for like all the rest of the month and not just for tonight. So use it. Feel free. Yes. The final point, there was a beautiful emoji here, in fact Mac doesn't show it, but anyway. It says, do you have to donate? Some people at the entrance just queue because they think they have to donate.
No, but it's a checklist, I guess.
Yeah. you actually don't have to donate. You can donate, of course. We are very willing to get your money and reinvest it in Speck and beers and t-shirts and branding and our events to sustain ourselves. But it's not mandatory. It's a voluntary act that you do. But if you donate, please donate a lot. Because first of all, if you donate, you can win beautiful licenses of JetBrains. Tonight we're also giving out 3 full licenses of JetBrains for all the suite of their products. If you're a student, you have it for free, just to tell you. But if you're not a student, you get them via Speck&Tech. And
well, if you already have one as a student, you can always give it as a gift for your grandma for Christmas.
Yeah.
Which is surely very passionate about JetBrains.
Yeah. And how many of you actually already bought their gifts for Christmas? Can you raise your hands? How many of you? Guess you're shit. Okay, we give you the beautiful gift. You can go on our website, you find the beautiful t-shirt of Speck&Tech, you can buy them.
That's very surprising, I know that.
And no, it's actually to sustain the community. You can buy a t-shirt, it's 15 euros, I guess. We pay 12 to make them, so everything we get out of that is also to pay the beers and the
commercialista and the Stato Italiano.
Exactly. And
okay, F24.
Okay, we spoke enough, I guess. So thanks a lot everyone for being here. It's always so nice seeing so many people and celebrating together Christmas. We now will have the 2 talks, and after that there's going to be a long night full of beers and full of Speck. So, our first speaker,
Filippo. Big applause for Filippo. Come on, guys. Thank you for being here tonight. Which is not Fabio, because Fabio is not speaking tonight. Who is not Fabio?
Fabio commercialista. Giulia prende la folla.
So. Right, can you hear any difference between this voice and this voice? Please raise your hands. This voice and this voice. Let's make a votation. All right, we are ready.
Give me 1 second. Hello, everybody. So tonight I will talk about how design should be more like programming and vice versa, and how to create a design system. So first of all, who I am. I'm a UX and UI designer. My name is Filippo. I'm based in Verona. I'm freelancing since 2014. And somebody of you knows me as Pinkstrat Design. I got a big problem with this name because everybody's asking me, why, what is this name? Also Giulio, 3 weeks ago, asked me. So actually, I take this name since I was really young. I was used to listen to Pink Floyd, so Pink, Strat, because I own a Fender Stratocaster. How many of you knows the Fender Stratocaster? Come on, it's the rock guitar. And then design, because actually I'm a designer, nothing special. So, how many designers are there in the audience tonight? Developers, sorry. Come on, developers. Okay. And how many designers? Okay. Almost 70% and 30%, probably. So I have a great news, because the talk is for you both. So it's not only for developer or for design. So let's start with a true story. So actually, 3 weeks ago, I get in touch with this company, this called Nuevera.com. They are a huge company. They are in the top 10 of big data analytics company. They are based in the Silicon Valley. They had an investment of $2.5 million, so a lot of money. And they hired me about 1 week ago, actually, 1 week and a half ago. And the brief of the project was quite, let's say, unclear. So they asked me to redesign their 50 apps. So they told me, we have 50 different apps, and each one is different from the other. So we need a designer, because we never had a designer before, to redesign our 50 apps. So just a little bit of math to say that, let's assume that the apps, each app is really simple, so it takes 1 month to redesign it. We're talking about 4 years of work. So, oh shit, okay, probably this kind of stuff is unsustainable, hard to maintain, hard to use. Imagine if you need to maintain an app that you designed something like 4 years ago, from the code point of view and from the design point of view. Probably you will look at the app and say, okay, I don't know when I designed it, I don't know what we are talking about. Okay, so I need your help tonight, because I got an idea how to solve the problem, but I would like to have your help too. So dear developers, when you are coding, when you are tackling these kind of problems, how do you manage it in terms of front-end development? So any idea? It's a question, it's not a phrase. Any idea? Come on.
Change company.
No, come on. I cannot. They pay me, so I cannot. And I'm not a developer, so I don't have this problem. But yeah, okay, I will give you some points. I'm not a developer, so sorry if I say something stupid about this stuff. But actually, if as a developer I would think to use some sort of framework, I will keep scalability into account. I will think about reusability. I will think about UI components, something like that, templates, and so on. Dear designers, how would you try to solve this problem for me? Any idea? Come on, don't be shy, guys.
Using
Sketching.
paper prototyping.
Okay. And then? Okay, paper, but you need to polish each up. So, polish. Okay. Okay, but you can sketch one at a time. Okay, it makes sense. Absolutely. Any other ideas?
Make a library of components.
Okay, I like it. reuse stuff. Sure. Reuse it. So actually, you will probably write a lot of guidelines, think about scalability of your design. You will think about patterns, so you will look at each app and you will try to find patterns across different apps. You will create your UI libraries and stuff like that. So actually, if we take the developer point of view and the designer point of view, we can find a lot of touch points. I was trying to find out how to solve the problem, and I thought a lot about it, and I found out that probably using a design system, create a design system, will be the way to solve this problem. So, how many of you knows what a design system is, or have at least an idea what it is? Okay? Good. So actually, a design system is a collection of reusable components guided by clear standards that can be assembled together to build any number of applications. So actually, it seems that my answer is here. Okay, but let's go in deep. Oh, actually, it's how you organize your app. It's component-based. It's about visual, but not only visual. It's about colors, but not only colors. It's about patterns, and it's cross-platform. So what does it mean? It means that if you are designing an Android app or an iOS app, you will design it regardless the platform, let's say. Okay, I said it's how you organize the app. So as a designer, I'm not able to design without a grid. So I guess that I know more developers that are using grids than designers, so it's incredible. How many developers are using some sort of grids while developing? What kind? The most famous one is? Bootstrap. Okay, good guys. So, yeah, lucky, it's the most famous one. I don't know if it was a developer or a designer that created it, but probably it was a developer with a passion for design, I guess. So actually, Massimo Vignelli, that is a really famous Italian designer, says that grids represent the basic structure of our design. It helps organize everything, and it provides a sort of consistency. What does it mean? It means that with a grid, you are sure that everything it will be in the right place, or at least it should be in the right place. So, for example, this is the first wireframe that I have created for them. As you can see, I used a 12-column grid, and then I have an inner 12-column grid, and then, to finish, I have a 8-pixel horizontal grid to make sure that everything is vertically aligned. So, horizontally, vertically, you should take care about margins, and you should use a grid, regardless if you are designing for desktop or mobile. The borders are gone at least 5 years ago. Second point, a design system, it's component-based. And this is probably how a developer will think about it more than a designer. So components are portions of reusable code within your system, and they serve as the building blocks of your application's interface. Building blocks such as buttons, drop-down menus, forms, headings, any sort of UI component. So components range in complexity. Reducing the components to a single function, take a look to it, like a button or a drop-down, increases flexibility, making them more reusable and more maintainable, let's say. What does it mean? Okay, if, as a designer, when I'm thinking about this button, I'm used to think more as a developer, I think, than as a designer. So, this is a button, and each button, or each UI component, has a lot of properties. These are only a bunch of them. So the fill color, the stroke thickness, label value, font size, the font of the label, and stuff like that. But then I need to think about this button in terms of states. So actually each button has at least, I would say, 6, 7 states. So normal state, overstate, disable states, and stuff like that. And then we have also this magic thing that each button calls, that it's a function for a developer, and probably it's a pattern for a designer. So each time I press this save button, it saves my stuff, show a notification, and after a bunch of seconds, it dismisses it. Okay. How many times do you need to code and to design this stuff? If I ask you to code and design this stuff, how many times will you design it? Come on.
One.
All together? Once. Once. Why? There are a lot of answers about it. It's impossible to make mistakes. It's easy to maintain. It's easy to scale. It's easy to change in the future. I found this video from this guy from Airbnb. It's a product designer. And take a look to it, how they manage design and code.
We have a fairly unified language. Let's pull out that user details. This is what that looks like in code. A symbol. This is simplified React code. We designed for multiple platforms. We have React Native, which we supported on iOS and Android. We also have Android Native and iOS Native. This representation exists, and that implementation exists for all of those platforms. We can generate code because this symbol is achieved its own meaning. When we compose pages rather than deeply nested structures, we're able to just instrument a flat structure and feed properties and data to compose it.
Okay, let's go back. What? It's the beautiful MacBook jack output. Okay. So actually what it says, I don't know if you heard it. The concept is quite simple. It says, okay, every time we need to code and to think about our UI, under a design point of view, each component is designed once, and to define it in my code, I need to actually add only a line of code without using nesting stuff. So it's really simple to do that, and you can reuse it every time you need across your applications. This is an example for designers. So this is a sketch file. The first row, in the first row, each button is independent from the other. So actually, if I need to change the properties of these 3 buttons, I need to go through them and change it once at a time. So imagine if you have an application with 100 buttons. You need to go through 100 buttons to change their properties, so it's not feasible. In the second row, I have only one component, and I need to change it only once to update all the other 3 buttons. We will see it in a second. Come on, Filippo. Okay, it's done. The second row is done by changing only the let's call it the class of my button. Okay, this is the actual state of the design of one of their application. Amazing application. As you see, nothing is responsive. Okay, it's not bad design, but I think it's a little bit, okay, there are some parts that need some polish and stuff like that. But actually, I've counted all the components, okay, that there are inside this application. And in the end, there are only 13 components. So in 24 hours of work, I was able to go from nothing to actually analyze 4 or 5 applications, 4 or 5 of their applications, and then find patterns and start designing a system for them. So the result is this one. This is a wireframe, it's not a UI design, so it's something different. Okay, this is the desktop version. Okay, we have a drop-down, forms, stuff like that. But if you go to the mobile application, the mobile website, as you can see, actually the components are almost the same. There is only one component that I changed because it was not usable in a mobile device, but nothing special. So again, it's component-based, the design system. So reusable, design becomes scalable, your code becomes scalable, less bugs, less time spent on maintaining, and less money spent from your company. So I will not redesign 50 apps, for sure. I don't want to do that. But I want to build a design system to actually enable the team to design by themselves their apps. And this is a win-win situation for me and for the client, because actually I'm going to design faster in a more consistent way, and for sure in a better way, and we are reducing, on the other side, design decisions across the process. What does it mean? Sorry for the third S. It means that if a developer needs to create, for example, a login page, he doesn't need to think about how to design the form for this login page. He should only take the library, take the components that he needs, and actually code them inside the application. Nothing special, nothing to decide. Should I always start from scratch? The answer is
no.
Oh yeah. Okay. An example, Infonido. It's an app that helps kindergarten teachers to track daily routine of their little students. So actually it tracks how much they eat, for example, what they eat and how much they eat, how much a child slept at the kindergarten, and also how much he poops. They have a lot of clients in Italy, a lot of downloads on the Google App Store. They are based in Bassano, they are looking for developers. So if you need their contacts, I'll be happy to introduce you to them. And this was the app 4 or 5 months ago. So it was designed by 2 engineers. It was their master thesis, so they transported their thesis into a company, and they made, let's say, a pretty good job for 2012. But they had a lot of usability problems. They had a lot of calls to customer care. The system was not sustainable anymore because actually it was a web app. They were not able to store locally pictures without losing them if the Wi-Fi was down, stuff like that. So they decided to destroy it and build it from scratch. They hired me for a 5 days design sprint. How many of you knows what a design sprint is? Okay, shortly. It's a process to go from an idea to a test of this idea in 5 days. And we decide, since we do not have time to create our design system, to base the UI and the UX of the tablet application on Google Material Design System. I would not go along all the process, but I would like to show you only the results of the test. So we tested our prototype against on 5 different subjects divided into 3 groups. So first group, 2 subjects. They are not working as teachers in the kindergarten, and they never used the old application before. Second group, 2 teachers again. They never used the app before, So the first one were not teachers, the second one were teachers. And the last group, one teacher that is using already the old version of this application in our daily routine. Metrics, so actually we measured the percentage of completed tasks and the time to complete all the tasks. These are the results for group number one. So people that are not working as teachers and never seen the app before. And as you can see, on both the subjects, the new app outperformed the old application. And with the old application, the subjects abandoned after 5 minutes and 7 minutes. They were really, let's say, stressed by the old application. Group number two, so 2 teachers that had never used the old application before. And here again, the new application outperformed the old application, but there were better performance if compared with the other group, since probably we think that they were able to understand the lexical context of the application, so labeling and stuff like that. So the test of the fire, let's call it. So the teacher had already used the old application, and as you can see, she was able to perform 7 over 7 tasks in both the old and the new app. But with the new application, she was able to complete all the tasks in less time. So imagine saving 40 seconds for at least 5 times a day in a kindergarten. How important it is for a teacher. This is a video about the test with the prototype. So as you can see, it's nothing special. It's really similar to a Gmail application. I asked her to add some food to a group of children. So actually the task takes something like 20 seconds to be completed. And it's done, and this is the old application. So I will not go through all the tests, but same task. Okay, she was not able to find the quantity because actually this apple seems to be disabled. So, okay. After the amount of time from the last part of the project and today, I always thought, how did we do that? Were we lucky, maybe? Maybe it was a matter of chance, or maybe God was with us. No, I don't think so. So I think that 50% was due to the team. We involved 2 developers, me as designer, a person from the customer care, and also a teacher in the design sprint. 25% of the success was due to the process, and 25% was due to material design. I'm pretty sure about that. In 8 hours, we were able to create a prototype from scratch. Okay, from a lot of sketches from a storyboard. But I got to admit that I never felt lost, thanks to their guidelines and their components. I did not work on the UI design of the application, so if you have to complain about the colors, it's not my stuff. But I'm happy to say that they translate the tablet application into the mobile application by themselves. they do not ask to me to design it. And that's thanks to the material design system. I'm sure about that. So I would finish with 2 videos. This video is from Google. Okay, we do not have the audio, so it will not be so easy to explain, but actually they asked to their designers what material design is it. It is. Let's try again. There's no extra button here. Sorry for my desktop. But actually, with the Retina display is better.
What is material design?
You'll probably have to ask me this a couple times.
So material design is a system for designing.
Material design is a design language.
Material design is a design system.
Material design is a new perspective on what a human and device relationship can be.
Maybe it's too complex of an idea.
Material design is this design philosophy that's really trying to acknowledge the technology behind the interface.
It's a way for designers to collaborate with users.
Okay. I cut the video here. And now I will show you also the future.
No future.
No future. Okay.
Future is still loading.
No. Sta andando, però non Okay, the future will come tomorrow. Actually, it was a video always from the Airbnb design team, and they create an image recognition system that was able to is able to translate the sketches into a UI design. So actually, they take their sketches, they put it in front of a camera, and the system translated into a real UI design. So it's not a prototype, it's not a design file, it's the product. And it's incredible because you cut down the time from sketching to actually the real product. So how design should be more like programming and vice versa, just to close the talk. I think that using a design system, we have some problem with the audio tonight. So I think that using a design system is the right playground to make the designer thinking more as developer, and developer enable developers to actually create a design without the help of designers, or at least.
Should designers code?
I think that
No. Thanks for your question. Next.
I got a really clear state of mind about it. I think that designers need to know the constraints of a framework
or a programming language or whatever of the system, because otherwise you're not able to design properly. You can design something that is not feasible, but I don't think that a design needs to code.
More questions?
Xbox or PlayStation?
Actually, I have one. So generally, what happens to you when you need to take a project? You start from, for example, the material guidelines, and you build on top of them, or like, what would make you to restart a new design system from scratch?
Okay.
Like just for personalizing something, customize it directly for your customer, or why don't you simply build on top of them?
Okay, it depends. Let's say that if the client has 50 apps, I would not use material design as base of that, because they need to have, especially if they are a company with $2.5 million of investment, they need their, let's say, their blend to be clear and to arrive to the people through their design system. So I will not use material design or whatever. By saying that, I would say that you can always take inspiration by that, but it's not always a good starting point to start from a given design system. But instead, if you take a small startup, they have no time, and you have no time to design everything. I think that material design, iOS design, guidelines, or whatever, are the ground where to start to build something. I'm pretty sure about that, so it depends.
Thank you. One more question.
So what about the platform characteristics? Like for instance, an iOS user maybe is not really keen to material design, whereas an Android user is more acquainted to it, so it's more like...
Yeah, sure. Okay, can you repeat? Okay, actually he asked me, what about using some, let's say, Android UI components on iOS? Okay, I would say, what about Gmail on your iPhone? Is it not usable? Not at all. It's usable. It's still usable, and it's still Gmail. I think they changed the 10% of their UI probably to actually get an answer to the iOS patterns, but they do not build everything from scratch. So you need sometimes to make some balance change, but you do not need to change everything, I think.
Any question? Final, last question. Nobody? Nobody. Okay. Cool, thank you. Another big applause.
Thank you very much, Filippo. On the web you can find Filippo under, as we told you before, Pinkstruct Design. So if you need it, pinkstructdesign.com is the guy, is the man. Let's look at Filippo Pinkstruct Design. Alright, so now we have 5 minutes of break. So if you wanna go outside and see the snow, or you wanna open a beer, or you wanna dance like no one is looking,
or you wanna go there and buy a t-shirt.
Alright, if you wanna buy 10 t-shirts, now is the time before they are going out, because we won't reprint it, never reprint it anymore. Thank you very much. We want your knowledge that tonight we are 100 people. Awesome!
Siete in mezzo di quadratura. Grazie. Questo è il web design, cazzo, c'hanno uno schermo pizza. Di là non si vede una sega. Cioè, dovreste avere. Guardi delle griglie? Sì. No, c'è anche un libro. Ma è per mattone, cazzo. Ha fatto un libro su tutto? Sì, sai, ho fatto un libro anche su come sono nato. Esatto. Ma però faremo vedere la tua moneta di questo quindi è stato anzi so che era nelle razze.
Abbiamo anche il re dei meme.
Naui, se muovi il setup di mezzo millimetro lui basta. Con
Speck&Tech is resuming in 1 minute. We will have plenty of networking time at the end of the second talk, so please take your seat. Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Okay, people, please go back to your seats. We are starting. Hello, 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 hello. I feel this is 10 p.m. We need to restart. People. Holy crap. Hello. Hello, hello, people. It's 10 p.m. We want to go back home to see the Christmas kids. Thank you. That's it. Say that. Hello, we're restarting. Last call. We are back here on stage with our second speaker, whose name is Fabio. What's Fabio?
Not Francesco.
Actually, it's not Fabio, it's Francesco and myself. Both it, does it? Okay. Now, please 1 second, we are restarting. It's already 10 p.m. We need to eat a lot of speak and drink a lot of beers. So let's try to move on.
Alright, so for the second talk of tonight, we have a cryptic title. It's how to be a F asterisco, 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 asterisco G, which could be phenomenal, fantastic, Fosung,
Ferrari.
Alright, so a big applause for the second talk of tonight. More! We're 100! More! Alright.
So nice. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Nice to meet you this evening. Is better?
Yeah.
I fucking hate this keyboard. It's okay.
There's a spoiler.
What's a spoiler? I'm Fabio. No, it's not right. I'm Francesco, and I came from Verona. I'm working in this. And today and this evening, I will speak about being a fucking designer. And first of all, I played my keynotes because I know that there are a lot of developers here, so few designers, but their keynote is for both of you. So first of all, thank you for being here, and a big applause to you because it's 10 o'clock and it's very late, and you know some of you must work, so it's okay. And thank you for being here this evening. Hello guys, I'm Francesco, and I'm from the Upside Down. And I will talk to you about being a fucking designer. For me, it's fucking designer. And what's for you? It's your turn. Choose your words. You want to be maybe. This is our designer team logos because we make it. And you can be an advanced designer, you can be a cool designer, you can be a visionary designer, disruptive designer. And I think that all these words are so sexy. So I think that the best way is that to think about that your success starts from the company culture. because sometimes when you make design, when you do design inside a company, the best way is to make the company culture raise to design. And I say that because I work in a tech company, we are 90 people, and I think the 70% is developers. So we are a small island, a small happy island into the world of developing. And we work for a lot of big companies like bank, insurance. So sometimes the design is misunderstood, and it's not really good to talk for some clients for that kind of design, because it's not a creative design. Okay, it's more a corporate design. So I talk about your success, because the company culture is the main focus about the designer inside a company like the company for I work for. Culture is the key word for that, because culture means that is a Wikipedia, and said that is the art of the other manifestation of human intellectual achievements regarded collectively. And if you find that one is that you is your human intellect when you do design, and this is your company, is the collectively that in what you work for. So you work in a collectively, and a company is made of a lot of people with different behavior, with different habits, and sometimes you must change this kind of habits because you must start your design thinking method inside your company. And it's very hard because I have 70 developers to convince that design is the best way to make product that the people can use and can understand. And it's very hard. I fight every day with the developers. And I have bad news for you. I was developer first. So I understand which is the pain of the developers when they find a designer, when find something that they can realize, because the developer wants to make stuff done and make stuff that have a function that the people can use. So it's a kind of weird stuff. This is our, it's outside. It's complex for us, and I lead a team of 10 people that we make design every day with all our tech people, our developers. And outside it's engaging. I see a lot of young people here, so you are just showing up in the world of world of company, and it's a competitive and highly dynamic environment. So it's very, very hard to work outside. And you must understand how to change the mind, how to change the way the people are thinking inside the company. But you will survive. Yeah, it's a great news, because I know that if you are empathetic, if you are proactive, you can survive in every environment. And first of all, yeah, big slide. You must know your company. If you work for a company, you must know your company. You must know the roles inside your company, because you must find champions. And you must understand which is the real driver of your company. It's a company that it's focused on competition, it's focused on sharing. My company is focused on competition. Every company is focused on competition, because competition is making like, I'm best, we make the best stuff, I make the best stuff in front of you, you are not good, and this is on competition about performance. Okay, just for example, if I make a project, I take the project that I follow, it takes less time than yours. Okay, it's some metric that the company say, okay, you're best than the other. And you must understand that the hierarchy of a company, and sometimes it's not real, there's not the boss, there's not the manager, and the real hierarchy is that kind of stuff. Because sometimes you have brothers, and sometimes you have strange stuff, and sometimes, I love this word, some drugs too. The other one that I love is this one, it's a threesome. And they are all, they are sad. I say, why you make a threesome? Why you're sad? The best stuff is think that title is not a rank. Okay, title is not a rank. It's not your rank inside the company. And starting to understand that you can fail every time, and you can be the one person that the other can follow. And if you fail, the other will understand that they can fail themselves. Okay, but the title is not rank. It's important stuff that I understand in about 16 years of design now, because I'm very old. And sorry, I'm 40. Just around 40 in October. And think about the silos. I work in a tech company, and the silos, it's very strong. I work for insurance sector, so I don't care about banking sector. Make your stuff, banking stuff. I make insurance, and they make silos. Okay, like Java silos, JavaScript, HTML, front end, design, UI, UX. Oh, it's not right. Silos is not a negative. It's not a negative word. It's a behavior. It's like when you join your people, you are making a silos. Okay, just for example, you go to play football. Okay, it's a silos. Okay, when you have a company, you say that in 10 people, 5 people play football. So it's a silos of football. So it's not completely negative. Sometimes the word silos, it's really, really negative. Oh, you are breaking into silos. Oops, sorry. And the other ones like this, capacity. Spoiler. Understand the capacity of your company. Understand which was the capacity of understanding of your company. It's really, really important, because if you understand this number, this behavior, you can understand how you can push the design method inside your company. For the car, we make Google Design Sprint every day for our client. We use design thinking method in my team. I use the game storming method that are so cool. If you want to try some method, just ask. It's really, really cool. And the second, know your audience. As a designer, sometimes we start to research the audience, because we are making an app, okay? And we start to make interview and make research on our audience. But sometimes we don't care about our audience inside the company. So starting to understand and to interview your colleagues are so important, because you can understand how the other user around you can understand design. So they are all humans, and sometimes they are not able to change often, because changing is painful. Changing is so hard. Just if you want to change your approach, and sometimes exit for your comfort zone, especially for developers, that they are so nice into their little box of developer. Okay, it's not true. Not true. Oh, okay, come to my company. I have developers that have 20 years of tech, that they are so comfy in their little cubicles, you know, and you tap on their shoulders, say, okay, come out, and you know, because you're young, and the ones you're young, you must adjust your stakeholders. So you must understand the people that you have around you, and I make a little SWOT. I think that you are quite familiar with SWOT, right? No? SWOT? Yeah? Yes? 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 No? Yes? Sometimes. Raise your hand. Who is familiar with SWOT? Okay, perfect. Okay. So, this is a design. You can understand how influential or not influential are your people around you, and which one is antagonist and which one is a supportive. Okay, so you can put the people inside the graph. And in this situation, you can understand if you can feed the people to design, if you can promote the design, because it's not influential, but she or he is really, really supportive on design, she believes or he believes in design. You must locate which is influential and antagonist. Because you can translate these people here into the other quadrant there, and you must educate who is antagonist and not supportive. Especially bosses are here, okay? Because they say, design, nice stuff. Do you want pencil, marker? No. I'm not designing stuff like making drawings. I can make also drawing, but sometimes they are not influential. Bosses are here, okay? And people that believe that design can be change, I call them champions. They are here, and it's very, very nice to understand the champions because they can be, they can move from these, from here, from here, from there. And the last part of the keynote is not the last part, but know yourself. And I have a bad news. A friend of mine is Peter Merholz from Adaptive Path. Do you know Adaptive Path? Yeah. They said that designers are pain in the ass. And I was in London just 1 month and a half ago, and I met Peter, and he said, "Oh, designers are pain in the ass because sometimes they are so heavy instead of developers." But I have another news that because I updated this keynote for tonight when I listened to the Filippo keynote, and I modified it. Also, developers are pain in the ass. So it's me this evening, and because we are on the same, we are in the same situation. So if designers are pain in the ass, also developers are pain in the ass. But it's me, and. So if we are in the same situation, if you want to change the way of being, you must change the way of doing something. Okay. In both situation, I see that because, as I said before, we are in a tech company, and sometimes the people are so hard to change. And there is a good book. Is I don't remember the title. I've got the library at the end of keynotes, and remember that living life through fear, it's surviving. This is for developers. Okay? Oh my God, I must change this for designer. Oh my God, it will change my color. No, it's impossible. And it's fear. Because they did not say anything. They do that. And as I said before, 1 month and a half I was at the Leading Design Conference in London, and it was really cool. If you want to go there, go next year, because I met a lot of nice people from Spotify, Facebook, LinkedIn, a lot of people that they have a lot of insight. I get a lot of insight during the conference. I said, I know a designer from Spotify. I said, you're Italian. Oh, wonderful, Italy is beautiful, pizza, wine, red wine. Oh, I know that also Italians are good at complaining. Why? It's not right. It's not right. It's the image that we have abroad. Okay, we are good in complaining. And sometimes we are good in complaining because we don't speak with the others. We complain to the others and nothing more. And we are that kind of guys, okay? I don't know if you know that he has cancer, I think 2 months ago, and...
Sorry, I have a complaint. Parisa is not Italian.
Sorry?
Parisa?
Yeah. I saw that it's South Italian. Yeah, it's South Italian. You can pass that it's South Italian, okay, perfect. But not Italian, you said it.
Salvini?
But they, okay, it's not Italian, perfect, but they act as a team. And as a team, they won a lot because they are very, very good. And I come back to the very beginning of the slides. When I mentioned culture for me is behavior and time. And sometimes this behavior, it's really, really important to map and to understand which kind of behavior he is. And I started in Intersys about 5 years ago, and we tried to develop the design culture inside Intersys. And inside the company, we tried to find our champions in the development team. So I got a lot of good friends in the development team that are champions, that they believe that design can be a wonderful stuff to change the mind inside the company. And they asked me to join the design team and to join the design sprint with our clients. So when we have a client, we make the design sprint with the design thinking method. And for the first time, for the first moment of our briefing, you have got the tech people inside. So it's a little connection with your speech, Filippo. And we are what we do. This is the main mantra in the company. You make interface, so you are a graphic designer. No, I can be a UX, I can be a UI, but the people in the company did not understand this if you not create the design culture inside the company. Our habits connect what we think and what we are to our company sees us. Sometimes the company think that you make some stuff and it's not real because you make some stuff totally different. So I think that culture is habits and time. And I remember the title of the book. It's The Power of Habits of Peter Duggins. It's really good, it's really easy to read, and they give you a lot of insight. And I have 7 rules of habits. And plus me too, no, we make all 7 rules of habits. And the first habit is empathy. Oh, sorry, I forgot to translate that. Be brave and leave the comfort zone. Okay? The first habit is have empathy to the others, especially for developers. Habit 2 is vulnerability. Learn to fail. As a design lead, I start to understand how can I fail on a project. And another stuff is to learn to keep the other fail. Okay? So I sometimes with my guys, I did not say anything because it's not a parental role. Okay? Okay, if you want to fail, no problem. Just learn that you can fail. And learn fast. And have a lot of curiosity. Just ask for the designer. Sorry, I think that. Because sometimes I see that developer, thank you so much, developer and designer did not talk about project. It's like a waterfall process, okay? Just I make research, I design, okay, and you can develop that. It's not a iterative role sometimes. And so have a curiosity, it's really very important. And humility, it's wonderful habits. Work harder and keep listening, stay humble, because sometimes designers are not God, developers are not God. Okay, sometimes you can feel like a God because you deserve something, but it's not clear. Try to have flexibility, to adapt and improvise, because sometimes, especially in design thinking, if you can improvise, you can spread some good, very, very good ideas, especially from developers. Sometimes when I develop something, when I got a bunch of cases at the end of the keynote, the best result was some features that the developer think. It's really, really good. Integrity, keep going. So stand still and keep going every time, because it's like a iterative work every time. And the last one is audacity. Do that others don't. So try to be brave and try to make what the other they don't make. I think I'm a very Japanese lover, and I find this word, it's shuhari. It's like it's like a method in the, I can explain, is the, it's martial arts stuff, okay? And means that you must, Shu is keep the information for your master and take the information into you. Ha is break the rule and break the information, so break what your master teach you, and Re is interpret the rule that you have breaking. It's Shuari. It's really, really important. And Shu is learning fundamentals, okay? Learning the heuristics, learning what your master teach you, and how it's breaking the tradition. So learn stuff, break it, because with breaking the stuff you can on is really transcending all the rule that you are breaking. I mentioned you, I told you that I'm in a tech company, and I have some results about design tech that working together to bring a good process, a good product to the company. This is our, it's a little snack peek. This is our client, and we make a platform to book the test drive situation for BMW, and this is the storyboard with all the interaction that we make with the developers, and this is the result. Just a moment. Yeah, it's moving. It's a little. It's a little movie. We make this with all the developers. We start design with a lot of design team with the client and also with developers to understand which kind of interaction, which kind of situation we can improve during this kind of product. And one of the requests of the client was to impress and being really, really immersive also into the interface. So we start to, this is developer ideas, okay, and it's cool, and it comes from a developer, so it's wonderful, it's wonderful, and we decide to improve, because I say, oh, you're right, guys, we make this, okay, we try to have the final results, and another one is a bank, okay, and we start with the developer to design iPad stuff, and then we move to the desktop stuff with the paper prototyping. We make all the customer journey, also with the tech, and you can see that, but below that it was the tech wall, okay, with all the interaction and all the system involved into this kind of product. And this is the final results. We talked about the design system before, and this is completely inherent to what you said before. And this is a little snack peek. Yeah, we make the intro for Radio Maria, and yeah. It's when I talk about Radio Maria, it's it was like, nah, Radio Maria, nah, I don't believe that. It was one of the most challenging projects that I have, because no, really, thanks God. I have a place on the heaven for that, and because we can make jokes on Radio Maria, but this kind of stuff connects 72 countries with about 14,000 people with different time zones, and it's all together inside that stuff. Okay, and this is the internet. Yeah, it's a joke. It's a Radio Maria. Okay, perfect. And the real good stuff is that they have audios, so you can listen to Radio Maria. Huh? To God. No. Yeah, sometimes. Also videos, and yeah, so cool. And we make design stuff. We design sprint with them. And it was really weird, because I make the design sprint, and it was 1 year and a half ago, and I started to make some workshops with them, and I listened a little ring. I said, what happens? We have to pray. It was weird. I said, you're in the office. Yeah, we must pray. We have to get the altar. At the altar at the end of the altar is the altar at the end of the office. Okay. And we know that insurance are boring. This is a dashboard for insurance stuff. It's not so boring. It's cool, and people can play with stuff like mini modules here. It's from the we use the Bauhaus method of 1920 about the building blocks. Is the foundation of design systems, and this is the other one that I see you something there. And design system also there. And this is a platform. Who comes from Venice? Yeah, you know that. Yeah, okay, perfect. I make that. And this is a dashboard for a multi-utility company that sells gas, water and rubbish collectors, right? And when we make that, they have about 4,000 users, operational users, into the old one, and in 4 months they rush from 4,000 to 26,000 without advertising. We don't say anything, and they grow about 22,000 users. And one nice stuff about that the head of the call center calls me about 2 months after the go live and say, there's a problem. We have very, very small statistics and metrics about the people who call us for complaint. Why? Because it's like 1%. And say, okay, I will control that. I will make a double check. And after 1 month of checking statistic metrics, we say that this kind of stuff, with making with people, making with design thinking method and approach, and with a design sprint, make that in an Italian way. So not 5 days, but 1 day for each week, because you know companies say, okay, 5 days, no. Okay, 1 day each week, and the metrics run from we get 96%, 97%, minus 96% of calls in the call center. So from 1 day to the other, the call center operator was like, I'm not making anything. I have just 1 call each day, and there was 200 yesterday. Why? Because we make the go live for that. And I have some books. This is my personal library, if you want to write down. It's bit.ly, Nufra, Tautino, dash books. And if you want to...
We share the slides anyway.
Yeah?
We share the slides
okay, perfect.
on our website.
Okay, perfect. And so this is my library. There are a lot of good books if you want to mix it with typography, design, sometimes also really weird illustration, and thanks a lot.
Right, thank you very much. As always, we have a great Q&A question. So, should designer code? Should coders design? Should A, B, C? I have one question. What font did you use?
This font. Yeah. This one. It's a WorkSense. Is this the same as this one?
Well, it looks like Helvetica, but it wasn't Helvetica.
No, it's a WorkSense. This one.
Okay. More questions?
This one is WorkStars.
WorkStars. Yeah, regarding all the links of the night, we will share the slides on our website. So if you need stuff, you will find on www.speck&tech. All right. So if you have questions, it's now the moment. That's magic, guys. Questions? We will give you to the more lucky of you. This. He's not a spec. You can ask questions to him. He's not a spec.
Do you have questions?
If you don't have a question, no problem.
Okay. How did you start to, let's say, teach working in this context, teach design culture into your company?
Good questions. I start to make people involved into the design process. So I force people to join me into the design process method, just like an observer, you know. And the first time the people act out as an observer, so they don't speak. They try to understand the process, understand what I do on the wall with post-its, with game storming, and after 1 week of the same stuff, of the same client, so I try to involve it from the very beginning, the developers, and they start to interact with the client, not with me, because I'm the devil, I'm the designer, and but they start to interact with the client and start to create an empathetic word between developers and client, and they start to talk about the project, to talk about the features, because the developer try to push about the more technical stuff of the project, and start to interact. And after 2 weeks, they interact with all the people, and also with all the different silos of the clients. I make workshop with from 12 to 23 people for the Santander Bank. I got 23 people workshops, and I created a 5 minutes fuck off moment. Just keep in touch with the others, and I did not say anything. I'm not the facilitator. I just close my ears. So I think that engaging people is really, really important. Also in the work, if you are engaged, you are more proactive, you are more eager to learn, eager to make a research phase, develop something new. So I think that engaging is a really key word of this kind of design culture. Okay, I answer? Thank you. You're welcome.
I have a lot of questions, so if you're not fast enough, sorry. I have a question from like a workshop guy, designer in my company. Like, how do you approach a company like an utility company, the one you showed in Venice? How? Because usually they go for the cheaper stuff. Like they do kind of a gara, and they go for just the shittier and cheapest stuff, and that's the result that you usually see. Like if any one of you is working for Dolomiti Energia, but that's like the worst. I can't find my fattura, and that's like the worst ever, because that's very easy. How do you approach them? Like how do you convince them? How do you communicate with them in an appropriate way? Like
in the case of Veritas in Venice, the weird stuff is that they ask us for tech issue. So they call us and they say, okay, I have a regulation of a European community that makes me make some digital stuff before I don't remember, July. Okay, so they call us for a technical stuff, and they come to the client, and we say, okay, you must change this kind of dashboard. You must change your. It's called a sportello online. It's like a Sol. It's called a Sol. You must change that, but because you must change, we can try something different. you have problems inside your company, and probably you have a performance problem. And the performance problem is that you have a 40 people call center that every time it's so overcrowded, overcharged of phone calls for some stuff that you can make by yourself. Okay. So, sorry. So is the aim of this portal online, the aim of the dashboard. So the first touch is to convince the people with numbers. So we go to the call center and try to keep all the data from the call center and say, okay, which kind of question can be solved into an online application? This stuff. And say that the really delta, the difference between all the requests and the request that the people can solve by itself in the online dashboard was really huge. And so I say, oh my God, we never, the client said that we never do that. It's wonderful. Okay, we can try that. So we make a try, and they have I don't know if the English is act of faith, It's like, I will try. Okay, and it was nice because after 4 months, who comes from Vicenza? Okay, perfect. You know I am Vicenza. I am. Okay, perfect. We make the same stuff with I am Vicenza. We are redesigning right now the online dashboard, but we make a step ahead. We go to the big boss and we say, you have not only this kind of problem, you get the problem also into your offline offices. So we make the mystery client into the offline office, because we have a colleague that she's from Vicenza, so then the operator cannot listen to the difference in speaking. And we make the mystery clients in Vicenza in the offline, in the offices. We make design sprint with the people. So we engage in all the people, with old people, young people, people from Vicenza, people from other cities, because the company served a lot of cities around Vicenza. And at the end, the bosses say the numbers of the people that were engaging, and the feedback, the qualitative feedback of this engaging. And they say, wow, it's wonderful, because the company asked to me how to design something. Because I'm really, really proud of being part of this company, because sometimes the users are alone in the world. You know, the company did not create the connection between the company and the user and the customer. So acting this, when an old people comes to the office in Vicenza and say, oh, I remember the last month that I come here and make a workshop with a young guy, it was wonderful. When you make another one? And the operation say, it was only one time. So it's like this kind of engaging that makes you as a designer really, really good. You feel good because say, okay, I make some stuff with the people. I got another case on the health sectors when in Peschiera del Garda, it's like in the lower part of Garda Lake, and there is an hospital. It's called Casa di Cura Peterzoli. It's like a mix between. It's a mashup between a public hospital and a private one. So it's like a clinic, but it's a both of that. And they have a problem with the totem in the office. There are little totem with a big touch screen. When you touch the button, the totem gives you the ticket to the operation. Okay, and there are several lanes with the letters, so the lane A, B, C, D, etc. And they have a great problem because at around 6 o'clock, when the old people comes all together to the hospital to make the blood analysis, they have a overcrowded saloon, overcrowded place. They ask us to understand why the people get overcrowded into the morning. And we try to make the passive research inside the hospital at 5 o'clock. It was really, really hard. And we understand that the problem is about the label into the totem. Because the totem represented some activities into the hospital, and the label was designed by doctors. And the doctors have a certain kind of language that is not completely understandable by the old people, about 70, 80, that comes to in the morning. I say, what I want to do, I don't understand. So they have, we redesigned the label. So without designing the interface, we designed also the label. And it was really, really good because we used the Wizard of Oz method. Do you know that? Okay, perfect. And we put underneath the totem, and we try to move the interface and to replicate the interaction between the user and the interface. And after 2 months, I received a call from the one of the board of the hospital, and say, "Oh, it was the last Christmas," and I said, "Oh, Merry Christmas." And I want to say that the problem is not, there is no problem now. It's incredible. I say, "Oh, okay, perfect. I'm happy because we redesigned the way in which the clients, the customer of an hospital that are in a real bad mood when you come to the hospital, you're not happy." Okay, so creating the empathic connection between customer and company is really important. So thank you. I was really long.
More questions?
I have a question. Okay. I don't need a mic.
Oh, ciao! Ciao.
Two questions. If you're hiring, what do you expect to see in the portfolio of the designer? And then second question is, should the design have like a signature, something that you can relate to that person in every of the designs we make?
A design system.
No, like if you see two of their products, you can tell that they made it.
Second question. The answer to the second question is no. I'm not seeking for a signature because I think that the context is really important. So sometimes you're working into a different context that can be totally different. Okay, so I don't seek for a signature about a designer because I think that a designer can melt its talent to the context and to the work and to the product that they want to design. And the first one was if I are in someone, which is the characteristic, right?
What do you expect to see in their portfolio?
Absolutely nothing. Because I think that the portfolio, sometimes it's like the best stuff you can make, okay? So it's not related to your work, because maybe you can make, it's strictly related to the context. So instead of to see a portfolio, I want to make you a try. So if you want to be hired by me, comes to my company and work with me for 1 day. Okay, because I don't need your portfolio. I want to understand how is your way of working, because a portfolio is not you. Portfolio is what you do, and you can do stuff really, really good. But if you can stay into a team and into a company that can help you to grow, it's not an interest for me to have you in my team. I answered your question?
Yeah, thanks for your answer.
Okay, final big applause for our speaker. Next question we expect from you is how do you hire a designer, which is like $1 million question, and we expect you in 6 months. Thank you very much for your voluntary application.
Anyway, you were gonna have a long night to talk to these guys. Any question you might have? A big disclaimer for all your developers. Sorry, 2 talks about design might be very heavy in one night. But yeah, you deserve it.
Anyway, I mean, we wrote in the title, so if you're here, no big deal, right?
Yeah, as always, like we try to change topics. Last time was about climate change. Sometimes it's been about programming. Sometimes it's been about developing a culture within a company and so on. Like we always try to change the topics, and we are very willing to listen to your feedback and also listen to your submissions. So if you want to give a talk or present something cool you're doing, just come and talk to us. Like we're very willing to get to you. So
yeah, otherwise we need to search for people, which is a lot of work, and we are very lazy. So if you want to help us, we are very happy to be helped. Thank you.
Yeah. So final consideration before closing up. We know that all of you are waiting for Speck and beers, and there's going to be a lot of them back in the kitchen. How many of you donated? Good. Actually, you won a prize, or like some of you won a prize. We actually hear the 3 names of the people that will win a license for JetBrains Suite tonight. So a bit of atmosphere. First one. Okay, some of you might be students. If you want to donate it to your mother, to your father, to your grandmother, if you want to use it as a Christmas gift, do it. Otherwise, you can.
Girls love JetBrains licenses. It's a good hint for all of you. Like, yeah,
especially grandmothers.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Francesco had tons of them like this. Yeah.
Otherwise, you can just simply say, "I don't need it." You can just give it to the next one in the list. So, first one, atmosphere. Andrea Dalla Costa.
Congratulations, Andrea.
Student, you want it? You want to give it to someone else? Bravo, that's Christmas!
Yay! Let's share JetBrains licenses that we gave us for free.
Okay, first one. First one. Not really, like they're super, like I can give you the contact.
We can talk about this later.
But we have some, the stickers are the super smaller, so you can put them wherever you want. Okay, atmosphere. Gabriele Fadini.
Don't be too happy, Gabriele.
Student. You don't need it. Holy shit. Pete, dammi altri 3 nomi.
You don't have any grown-up friend who needs a JetBrains.
Okay, we have a woman, but I'm sure she's still a student. Samantha. Oh, shit.
Alright, so
other 3 names.
So,
okay, we have 3 names. Yeah,
Alright.
Pete, 3 nomi, I'll just know. Okay. Altri 3. 1, 2, 3. Andrea Rossetta.
Ciao, Andrea.
Andrea? Also a student.
Is there anyone who is not a student? Please raise your hand.
3 people that
you are a student and you donated. Alright, we have a winner. Thank you very much for donating. You're very generous and you're happy Speck&Tech. Moreover, we're giving stuff free to you.
I had also Andrea Leone, who's a student, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ascari. Student.
Mario Rossi.
Nicola Doppio.
Really?
What's going on? I wasn't the
You won, Nicola. You have a JetBrains license. Thank you very much. All right.
And final one.
Alberto Angela.
Agostino Sinelli.
Really? All right.
Yeah, come to stage.
Yeah, you can come to stage, Agostino. It's the second time. Agostino is very shy, so be very proud of him. Like, we have a winner, like a real one, not some random names. All right. All right, so thank you, every one of you, for coming tonight. Right?
Thank you.
All right, yeah. Like I was saying, thank you very much for coming tonight. Thank you for our wonderful guests and for the talks. They were super interesting, very inspiring. I hope you all had a very good time. Now we will have some food and beer, so please.
And it's gonna be even better than before, honestly.
All right. Thank you very much.
If before leaving, get all your chance. You have probably some of you have some degrees, some of you have a diploma, double degree, doctorate, anything. Try to stack
This joke
them
is
on
very
the
bold.
same one and put them right here where I'm gonna move me with my ass. This stuff. So you're gonna move the chairs over here. So we will make space enough for all the Speck and the beers for the rest of the night. Thank you
very much for the help.
You're a wonderful drawing.